bloody disaster. When I was at school, they kicked me out of music class. They told me I was an idiot in the classroom when it came to the painting, and it came later in life.
And all those factors made you think, this would be the right way to go. The stuff
Exactly. When you're told you can't do something, you want to have a go at doing it.
So how did you discover dotalism or pointillism, you know?
Well, it's a really interesting question, because about 15, 20 years ago, I was in Northern Australia, and I signed up for a 2-day workshop called, I quote, White Men Can't Paint.
Okay.
And it was offered by the indigenous people of Australia, and it was a spoof on white men can't play the basketball.
That's right.
And we sat down in shorts with ants crawling up our legs, sweating, and we did these paintings done with a tiny stick, these dot paintings.
Right.
And it spoke to me. It was very relaxing, very therapeutic, and very time-consuming.
Okay, so from then on, that was where you sort of decided this is the kind of art you're going to do. And again, the images, I mean, let's take a look at some. We've got them on screen right now. Again, all of marine life?
Primarily all marine life. I do a whole selection of abstract work. This is a little abstract, the critters there. Obviously, that's not a dot painting. Again, a dot painting with divers. But primarily, it was about the ocean. And I should just say that each of these paintings would take anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks to complete. First you do 4 or 5 layers of paint, then you do a sketch, and then each of the critters are created dot by dot, and they evolve as the paintings are happening. So they're not specifically created from a photograph or a sketch, they evolve.
So what do you mean by evolve? I'm going to take one of these here that you have now. I mean, does that mean that at the start, do you have this image in mind? For example, the seahorse here, do you start with that saying, I'm going to do that?
I would start off with a sketch or a photograph from a dive of a critter that I'd like to paint. For instance, the seahorse there was going to be a seahorse. So there's 4 or 5 layers of paint, then the sketch goes on, and then each of these dots is placed on dot by dot, built up. And the cruncher is, in each of the original paintings, there's a tiny little bit of sand and salt water from the ocean. How cool is that?
Really? Where does that go?
Well, that actually mixes in with the paint, and so when the paint dries, it constricts, and you can feel the ocean, the sand, and the salt water in the painting.
Right. So it's textured in a way. It's a little bit 3D. It stands out.
Exactly. Now, the risk of being personal, would you care to feel one of my bumps?
If I didn't know you any better, I would be concerned about it. But yes, come. Let me feel some of your bumps.
Okay, just gently with the back of your hand here.
So this is, okay, we'll hold it up here so folks get a better look. Where should I be?
Just with the back of your hand, just feel down there, and you can feel it sort of slightly textured.
So is this where the sand and the salt water has come in?
Exactly. So each of the dots of paint has had one dot go on, and then another dot goes on top, and the last dot has actually got a bit of sand and salt. This is the image that we're featuring at the dive show this weekend, which is the whale shark, and this has got small amounts of sand and a little bit of salt water from the Galapagos Islands in this painting that you're touching. How cool is that?
I see. So you've got like boxes of sand from different parts of the world.
I wouldn't say boxes. I take a small vial, like a little film canister, with maybe half an ounce of sand, which I know is a little bit naughty, but we do that.
I see. And again, to get the consistency in the dots, I mean, do you intentionally make some bigger, some smaller? Is that all planned out?
Very good question. So the size of the dots is directly related to how much pressure you put on and how liquidy the paint is when you're applying it. So a lot of thought goes into the size of them. You probably notice they're slightly larger in the middle, and they're going small up at the back, so to give a sense of it sliding away.
And when you get really tired, then you just do one big dot.
Exactly. Okay. Well, the red wine and the big dots usually mean the end of the painting.
I see. Okay. Wow, this is fantastic. I mean, so it is very tedious. I can see, because it does mean going dot by dot. And how many times have you had to start from scratch when you're almost near the end because that dot just the wrong dot
didn't quite make it? Well, it's funny you should say that again, because in the studio that I work in, I've got a small area with a hot shower, so I could be painting on the canvas, mess up that particular corner, and I'll literally just take it there and wash it completely off and then start again.
Okay, well, something you haven't washed for years is the shirt you're wearing, you were telling me.
This is true. I thought I could get it rinsed at the place I'm staying in Singapore here, but they wouldn't touch it. They said it would create an environmental hazard if they tried to wash it.
Okay, well, it's okay. We do have some distance between us, so it still seems all right.
You can touch it later.
That's all right, Roger. There you go. Thanks so much for coming in. Our guest, Ron Stephen Leon, on his mission to save the oceans, just one dot at a time. Now, if you'd like to take a look at more of his art, it is on display at ADEX 2013. That's happening in Singapore from the 19th to 21st of April at Marina Bay Sands. If you'd like more details, visit the website address. We've got it on screen right now. Well, on that note, we are done. This is it, a wrap for Wednesday, 17th of April. But join us again tomorrow. We've got your regular dose of world business news. Plus, we'll dive into the deep blue.